Ever notice how some people make you feel small without ever raising their voice? How you walk away from certain talks feeling like you just ran a marathon? Like something happened, but you can't quite name it? That's not in your head. That's manipulation. And it's way more common than you think. Here's what nobody tells you. Manipulators don't announce themselves. They don't show up with a sign that says, "I'm about to mess with your mind." They show up as friends, family, partners, co-workers. They smile, they apologize, they make promises, and somehow you still end up feeling crazy. But here's the good news. Manipulation has a weakness, and that weakness is boundaries. Not the kind you talk about in therapy, the kind you actually use. Today, I'm showing you 5 boundaries that make manipulators powerless. They work instantly, they require zero drama, and manipulators absolutely hate them. Let's start. Number 1. You stop asking for permission to feel what you feel. This one catches people off guard, because most of us were raised to be reasonable, to see both sides, to not overreact. And that sounds healthy, right? Until someone uses it against you. Here's how manipulators twist this. They make your emotions the problem, not their behavior. Your reaction. When you're upset, they don't ask why. They ask why you're being so sensitive. When you're hurt, they don't apologize. They question whether you should be hurt at all. They turn your feelings into a debate. And if you can convince someone their feelings are wrong, you can do anything to them, because they'll doubt themselves before they ever doubt you. Think about it. Someone cancels plans last minute. You're disappointed. Normal, right? But they hit back with, "Wow, I can't believe you're mad about this. It's not that serious." Suddenly, you're defending your right to be disappointed, instead of them explaining why they bailed. See the switch? Your feelings became the issue, not their actions. So this boundary cuts that game off immediately. You feel what you feel, period. You don't need to justify sadness, or explain anger, or prove disappointment is valid. Your emotions are information, not courtroom evidence. When someone questions your feelings, you don't engage, you don't defend. You simply say this: "I hear you, but this is how I feel." That's it. No argument, no negotiation, just truth. Watch what happens. Manipulators hate this, because their entire strategy depends on making you question yourself. Once you stop doing that, they lose. They can't gaslight feelings you refuse to debate. They can't twist emotions you won't justify. This boundary doesn't make you stubborn. It makes you solid. And solid people can't be moved by mind games. Number 2. You let people be mad at you. This sounds backwards, but stay with me. Most people are terrified of making others upset, so they bend. They shrink. They say yes when they mean no. All to avoid conflict, to keep the peace. But here's the trap. Manipulators know this fear, and they weaponize it. They pout when you set limits. They go silent when you say no. They act wounded when you choose yourself. Not because they're actually hurt, but because it works. Because the second you feel guilty, you'll backtrack. You'll apologize for nothing. You'll change your mind to fix their mood. And suddenly, their feelings control your choices. Here's the truth that changes everything. Their anger is not your emergency. Someone being upset doesn't mean you did something wrong. Sometimes people get mad because you stopped letting them use you. That's their problem, not yours. So this boundary is about releasing control. You stop managing everyone's emotions. You stop twisting yourself into shapes to keep others comfortable. You make decisions based on what's right, not on who might get upset. Let me give you an example. You tell someone you can't lend them money. They get quiet, cold, distant. Old you panics, apologizes, offers half the amount just to fix the tension. New you sit in the discomfort. You let them be upset, because their reaction is theirs to manage. This boundary feels harsh at first, like you're being mean, but you're not. You're being honest. And honesty sometimes disappoints people. That's life. Here's what manipulators fear about this. Once you stop needing everyone to like you, they lose leverage. They can't guilt you. They can't pout you into compliance. Their emotional weapons stop working. Healthy people respect your boundaries even when they're disappointed. Manipulators punish you for having them. That difference tells you everything. So, let them be mad. Let them sulk. Let them process their feelings without you fixing it. Their emotions are not your responsibility. Your peace is. Number 3. You believe actions over words every single time. Manipulators are incredible speakers. They know exactly what to say, exactly when to say it. They promise change. They swear it'll be different. They describe a future so beautiful you want to believe it. But here's the secret. Words are free. Anyone can say anything. What costs something is following through. This boundary is brutally simple. You stop listening to promises. You start watching patterns. Not what someone says they'll do, what they actually do, repeatedly. Because consistency reveals truth. A person can tell you they care, but do they show up? They can say you matter, but do they make time? They can promise respect, but do they keep their word? Words create hope, actions create proof, and manipulators survive in the gap between the two. They fill your head with beautiful plans, while their behavior stays exactly the same. They know if they keep talking, you'll keep waiting. And waiting people don't leave. Here's how you apply this. Someone says they'll change. Great. You don't argue. You don't celebrate. You simply watch. You give them space to prove it. No reminders, no pressure, just observation. If the change is real, you'll see it, consistently, over time, without you having to beg for it. If it's manipulation, the words will repeat, but nothing else will. This boundary protects you from fantasy, from living in potential instead of reality. It keeps you grounded in what is, not what could be. Manipulators panic when you stop rewarding their words, because talking was their easiest tool. When that stops working, they either step up or step away. Either way, you win. You're no longer fooled by pretty speeches. You're anchored in evidence, and evidence doesn't lie. Number 4. You match energy, not need. This one hits different, because it goes against everything we're taught about love and loyalty. We're told to be patient, to give people grace, to show up even when it's hard. And yes, that's beautiful, in balanced relationships. But manipulators don't want balance. They want you to give everything, while they give nothing. Here's how they do it. They create need. Then, wait to see how much you'll sacrifice to fill it. They forget to text back. You double message. They cancel plans. You reschedule around them. They go cold. You chase warmth. See the pattern? You're doing all the work, and they're doing all the taking. This boundary flips that completely. You stop giving more because someone gives less. You stop chasing people who walk away. You stop filling gaps they create on purpose. Instead, you match. They text once a week. You text once a week. They make time once a month. You make time once a month. They give surface-level effort. You give surface-level effort. This isn't revenge. It's honoring yourself. You're refusing to beg for crumbs from someone capable of giving a meal. You're refusing to audition for a relationship. You're refusing to prove your worth through overgiving. Here's what happens when you do this. People who care notice the shift. They self-correct. They meet you halfway again. Manipulators? They either escalate the games or disappear. Because the dynamic only worked when you were desperate. The moment you're not, they lose interest. This boundary saves your energy. It stops you from pouring into empty cups. It teaches people that access to you requires mutual effort, not one-sided labor. You're not being cold. You're being wise. And wisdom knows the difference between investment and waste. Number 5. You exit conversations that go in circles. Ever been in a talk that feels like a maze? You're trying to solve something, but every path leads back to the start. You explain your point. They twist it. You clarify. They twist again. Hours pass. You're exhausted, and nothing's resolved. That's not communication. That's a trap. Manipulators don't have conversations to reach understanding. They have them to wear you down, to confuse you, to make you so tired you just give up. The goal isn't clarity, it's control. So this boundary is simple but powerful. When a conversation starts looping, you leave it. You don't announce it. You don't defend it. You just stop participating. You can say something like, "I don't think we're getting anywhere. Let's revisit this later." Then you walk away. Not in anger, in self-respect. Because your time and energy are valuable. And circular arguments are designed to drain both. Here's the key. You don't wait for permission to exit. You don't need their agreement that the talk is going nowhere. You decide for yourself. Healthy conversations move forward. They build, they resolve. Manipulative ones spiral. They repeat. They trap. When you start honoring that difference, something shifts. You stop getting stuck. You stop feeling crazy. You stop wasting hours on dead-end debates. Manipulators hate this boundary more than almost any other, because their power lived in keeping you engaged, keeping you explaining, keeping you hoping this time would be different. When you exit, their stage disappears. They're talking to themselves, and that's when they realize they never had you. They had your exhaustion, and you just took it back. So, there they are. 5 boundaries that shut manipulation down instantly. Stop asking permission to feel. Let people be mad. Believe actions over words. Match energy, not need. Exit conversations that loop. You're not learning to be harsh. You're learning to be whole. You're learning that kindness doesn't mean letting people drain you. That love doesn't mean accepting disrespect. That loyalty doesn't mean staying where you're harmed. These boundaries don't build walls. They build foundations. Foundations you can finally stand on without sinking. And here's the beautiful part. The right people will respect every single one. They'll appreciate your clarity, your strength, your honesty. Only manipulators will fight them, and that tells you everything you need to know. So practice these. Start small if you need to, but start. Because the life on the other side of these boundaries, it's peaceful, clear, yours. And you deserve that. Every single bit of it. That's it for today. More videos like this coming soon. Hit subscribe if this helped. And remember, you're not the problem. You never were.